Hello learners, welcome again to our session. I'm your instructor, CPA, Aringo Frederick. So in our class today is just a continuation of what we started earlier on. And remember we are looking at, we are still under topic 1. But today, I want us to look at a very important concept of management. Basically, you'll find that people will say that management is an art. Other people will say management is a science. And also, some people might say that management is a profession. So today I want us to break down all of them so that it will assist us to understand whenever we are talking of management as a science, whenever you are talking of management as an art, and whenever you are talking of management as a profession, ideally, what will it comprised of? So that should take us to management as an art. That should take us to management as an art, science, or profession. So looking at this case, management as an art, management as an art, science, or profession, or a profession. So I want us to look at it in that case, management as an art, science, or a profession. So I want us to start with the first element. Whenever you're talking of management as an art, whenever you're talking of management as an art, management as an art, talk of management as an art, I'm looking at the blue pen. So talk of management as an art. We start with the first one, management as an art. Why are we saying that management is an art? From our basic knowledge, even from our practical knowledge, whenever we'll be talking of an artist is someone who is very creative. An artist, at least this person is very, very creative, and also he has a personal certain skill that probably not all other people have such a skill. And also you'll find that also as an art, at least it will entail a practical knowledge. It will entail a practical knowledge. So you'll find that whenever we'll be talking of management as an art, the key elements of an art, as we have mentioned, you'll find that we are taking this artist as a very creative person. This person has a personal skill that probably not all other people have. These are some of the skills. Take a good example of our own Eric Omondi. This guy has some certain skill of comic. He can come up with anything and make people laugh. It's not like any other person cannot do that, but the way he brings it out is so different compared to how other person will might bring them out. So you'll find that this person has a personal skill, and also the level of creativity is also very high. So you'll find that this is an art. And how will you relate it to management? Also the same case will apply to a management, because you'll find that in solving certain skills, rather in solving certain issues. Say for example, you have this person, maybe you have a manager, and you have a certain situation within the organization. And solving this issue, probably it can come in regard to, say, like human resource. You want to solve an issue in human resource, or you want to solve something in a sales and marketing department. Probably it's an element or it's an issue between employees. So you'll find that in such a case, I should denote a certain skill that probably not all other people could be having the same skill for me to solve such an issue if it involves the aspect of human resources and marketing or any other department within the organization. That is aspect of our personal skill. When it comes to say the aspect of selling all our commodities, or us being in a different level compared to the competitors in the market, most of the cases you'll find that this manager should be very creative. in coming up with innovative ideas that is going to take the company at a whole different level. So a good manager should possess all these skills, and not all person can have the skill. That's why you're seeing the aspect of creativity, specific elements that art entails, also management will entail. So maybe just to explain it well so that you can also get it clearly, I want us to bring this relationship with an art, and also we'll try a certain question in our past paper to see how these questions are normally being tested. So you're seeing that art implies application of the following. Art implies, so looking at management as an art, management as an art, we are saying art implies application of knowledge. Art implies application of knowledge. Art implies application of knowledge and skill, of knowledge and skill. Art implies application of knowledge and skill to trying about desired result, to trying application of skills to bring out desired, to bring out desired results, to bring out desired results, to bring out desired results. So you'll find that as you are mentioning here, art implies application of knowledge and skills to bring out desired results. And also some of the characteristics that art will entail. Number one, art will entail practical knowledge. Art will entail a practical knowledge. Art will entail a practical knowledge. Two characteristics of an art, it will entail personal skill. It will entail personal skill. Number three, characteristic, it will entail creativity. It will entail creativity. Number four, it will it's a goal-oriented. Goal-oriented. So you'll find that the characteristics of an art, number one, you are saying it entails a practical knowledge, meaning that at least you should denote, you should be having the knowledge first of all. You should be having the knowledge to apply what you want to apply. The other characteristics, we have personal skill, meaning that this after you entail, so long as, or rather if you have also the knowledge, also the personal skill will come in very handy, because it is a personal skill that will assist you to achieve the desired results. Also talk of the creativity. You need to bring out this art in a way that is so catchy, is very creative, that any other person, probably even if he doesn't have any knowledge in art, so long as you have seen this element, it should be very creative, very catchy to the eye and all that. So talk of goal-oriented. Whenever we're talking of a goal-oriented, it means that I need to achieve a certain result. I'm targeting a certain result, or we need to achieve a certain goal. That is the characteristics of an art. What about now when you bring in management? How will management relate to art? How will management relate to art? You also find that in management, my good students, you'll find that managers will also denote the following skills. So relating it to an art, maybe you can mention and say that management also consists of different components. Management also consists of different components. Management also consists of different components. Different components that are related to art, that are related to art. So this is some of what we'll be talking about. Management also consists of different components that are related to art. If you can remember this madam known as Mary Parker. Mary Parker defined management as an art of getting things done through the effort of other people. Meaning that it is form of an art of getting things done through the effort of other people. That was the management of definition according to Mary Parker. So also find that here it has also catch that element of an art. So that's why you are saying if management is an art, if management talk of according to Mary Parker, you notice that management is an art of getting things done, of getting things done through the effort of other people, and ideally in organization, whenever we're talking of other people, in this case we're talking of who? The employees and all the components that will form management. So if you can relate management with the definition of Mary Parker, you'll find that also management will have the following characteristics, which are probably the same with art. So in this case, management will entail the following characteristics, which will include all the components that you're talking about here. These components. Management also consists of different components. And these components that you're talking about, number one, at least any good manager should have a very good knowledge of what he or she is doing. Knowledge. Talk of skills. A good manager should have knowledge, should have skills, and also he should be very creative and a creative person. So a good manager should have the knowledge. This knowledge ideally will give him or will assist him to understand the environment of the business or organization. The skill on how to work out some issues or how to handle some issues within the organization. Talk of being a creative person. I should be able to come up with innovative ideas. Like, for example, what Mdarasa has done. Mdarasa in such a case will find that it has transformed the physical classroom to an online classroom where you yourself, you can study wherever you are. Like at now, maybe you could be in your office, you could be in your home, but you are receiving the same services as what? The same services as the person who is in a physical class. This is creativity. So you also find that a good manager also should be a very creative person, Then number two, a component, we can talk of the aspect of result-oriented. So looking at a result-oriented, my good students, we are looking at a case whereby I'm having this manager. As at the end of the day, the organization has its own goals and objectives to achieve. So applying the skills, knowledge, and the creativity that we do have, my main aim will be to achieve the organization objectives and goals. And that's why we are saying a good, or rather the component of management is always results oriented, because as at the end of the day, I need to achieve the objectives and goals of the firm. That is also among the component of management that you are talking about. Also, we can mention this component, applied practices. Let me have it here. Applied practices. Talk of applied practices. So you also find that not any other person can be a manager. A manager will involve steps. It will involve you being in the field. It will involve you understanding each and every component in the organization. So whenever you're talking of applied practice, this person has gone through different levels for him to become or her to become a manager. So that's why you're saying it should entail the aspect of applied practices. I've applied my skills in so many areas within the organization to the point that I'm able to master each and every step. Though the business world is always dynamic and there are some things that might come up probably which you hadn't anticipated, but if you have the practical skills, or if you have that knowledge, if you have the idea of what is happening around, you'll be able to go through it. So that's why I'm saying the good manager, or amongst the component of management, is the aspect of what? Applied practices. So if you can relate it with art, you'll find that art has a practical knowledge, which you're talking of applied practices in this case. Excuse me, we've talked of personal skills. Personal skills are being a component of art. Also, management should also be having personal skill. Creativity, a good manager should be a creative person. Talk of goal-oriented, also we've mentioned this here, of which, as at the end of the day, we need to achieve certain objectives within the organization. So this will clearly bring in the relationship between art and management. This will clearly bring in the relationship between art and management. And that's why most of the cases you normally say that management is also an art, because of the relationship that we've just given here. So to that juncture, my good student, I want us to mark our class. I want us to stop from there after we've looked at management as an art, so that the next component, I want us to talk of management as a science, so that you can also see the same relationship. Thank you so much, and let us meet in the next session.